So what are the warning signs of imposter syndrome? How can you tell if you or a loved one or a colleague is about to fire off and self-sabotage? Well, here's the challenge. The self-sabotage mechanism that runs when someone's running imposter syndrome is at an unconscious level. The primal part of the brain that keeps us safe because it's constantly on the lookout for fears and danger is the bit that processes sensory information from the outside world more quickly than the prefrontal cortex that does our rational and creative thinking. So by the time we realise we've self-sabotaged at a conscious level, the primal part's already running the show and it's too late. This is why I'm not a fan of the bridge of coping strategies approach. There's a video below if you want to know more about that. It's much better for you to be able to get below the surface and remove the triggers for imposter syndrome. But to do that, you need to spot the signs. So, one of the most common things is people will stop speaking up with their ideas. They will tone them down to be beige, particularly the edgier ideas. So we have a yeast extract we like on toast here in the UK called Marmite, which you either love it or you hate it. And if you've got ideas that are a bit Marmite, then someone running imposter syndrome will tone them down to be more socially acceptable. Someone might stop challenging. They might not speak up when they can see something is wrong. They might hold back on going for a promotion that surprises you because you thought they would be interested. They might turn down an opportunity to shine or stretch a comfort zone. They might even volunteer a colleague to do that for them. Because of the 4 Ps of imposter syndrome, and there's another video for you below that covers this in more detail, people can end up working much harder. So the 4 Ps are perfectionism, procrastination, project paralysis, and people pleasing. And when somebody is running 1, 2, 3, or 4 of those, they're working longer hours, they're pushing and forcing and trying much harder. They've got anxiety running because they're worried that they're going to be found out as a fraud. And this is one of the real reasons why imposter syndrome is so closely linked to burnout. There's a link to the research study that we've just published below this video if you want to find out more. So in general, somebody running imposter syndrome will also struggle with feedback, whether it's constructive criticism, which never feels very constructive, or if it's even positive feedback. Because one of my definitions of imposter syndrome is the secret fear of others judging us the way we're judging ourselves. And if we're running that internal dialogue of what if they find out I'm not good enough and somebody gives you feedback, you are waiting for the but. And if the but doesn't come, chances are you will volunteer self-criticism. So this is another warning sign for imposter syndrome. We've turned the research study into a quiz that you can take as an assessment tool to give you an idea of if you're running imposter syndrome, and it gives you a free personalised action plan. So if you've not done that yet, make sure you go to the link below and go and do the quiz now. And I'd love to hear from you via the comments. What are the warning signs that you see, maybe in yourself or in loved ones or in colleagues, for imposter syndrome? And what can we do to remove the taboo so that people feel more comfortable speaking up about this and asking for help rather than feeling shame and judging themselves for worrying about being found out as a fraud? Let me know below via the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video useful, please share it far and wide, and also subscribe and hit that bell button thing so that you get a notification whenever I publish something on imposter syndrome in the future. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.